What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Space, and we back with another video, man. Today is part two of the Courtside report, and we just gonna pick up where we left off. So, right here we at another major dribbling change is the introduction of attacking size ups. One of the things we wanted to improve with dribbling in NBA 2K was that while the size up moves looked cool, they weren't very useful. The new attacking size ups provide a lot more side to side movement and are much better at forcing the defense to drop and shift, allowing you to bait them one way and then attack the other. Something all great ball handlers do so well in the real life. While it's fun to clown your opponents with a flurry of flashy dribbles, we don't want to encourage players to dribble the entire shot clock out while their teammates fall asleep. Energy will deplete much quicker when spamming too many moves together, so it's important to be efficient and not play with your food too long. There's a long list of size ups to learn on paper, but they're all very simple and feel natural in practice. Jump into 2KU freestyle practice to play around with different stick throw timings, and you'll get the hang of it after a few minutes. Next section is adrenaline boost. Another new feature to prevent over dribbling is the concept of adrenaline boost. There are three available boosts per player per possession, shown as three small bars under the stamina meter. Boosts are consumed every time you perform a hard go or explosive sprint launch. Once your three boosts are gone, your speed and acceleration decrease significantly for the remainder of the possession. As with dribbling combos, it's important to play smart basketball and be efficient with your movement rather than zigzagging back and forth aimlessly trying to get around the defense. More authentic shooting is the next section. Shooting also gets some nice upgrades for NBA 2K23 and NBA 2K22. Success from the outside was heavily weighted towards coverage. If you could get an open look, you could balance out poor ratings and inaccurate timing. This year we wanted a more authentic shooting model that captures the essence of a great NBA shooter's capabilities. The first major change is the addition of shooting attributes. Since the inception of signature jump shots in 2K basketball, animations have been more or less aesthetic but functionally the same. This year, each signature jump shot has unique shooting stats that help determine its effectiveness. Shot speed, how quickly the shot gets to its ideal release point. Release speed, how high the shot is released. Defensive immunity, how effective the shot is against defense contests. Time and impact, adjust shot windows to reward good timing at the cost of an increased penalty for bad timing. We're also adding a huge number of shot animations to choose from, over double the amount of any previous version of 2K, and they're much more accurate to each player's real life jumper. For my players, shot animations will be gated by shooting ratings, so you'll have to play around with all the options to figure out what works best for your skill set and playing style. We're looking forward to seeing a lot more variety in the community's SIG shot selection with the next evolution of shots. And then we get into the shot meters and feedback. There are also 5 new shot meters to choose from, with 15 more that can be unlocked through seasons over the coming year. Some big, some small, some above the head, some to the side, and some below the shooter. Each meter completely fills to the end, which is your ideal release point, then empties on the late side, ally 2K17 through 2K20. The new shot meter options were a common ask from the community, so we're sure everyone will find an option they like and then some. You'll also notice a subtle change to how shot feedback works this year. We use shot arcs to help indicate whether you're early, high arc, late, flat arc, or on time, ideal arc. So by paying attention, you can easily tell right away if your release is off. Also, with shot feedback enabled, we're delaying the timing slash coverage overlay and green release animations from coming up until the ball hits the basket. It's a small change, but it really brings back some of the drama that the green lights sometimes lack, and also encourages everyone to continue to play through the possession rather than giving up and getting back in transition early. How much time we got left? Oh, we got a bunch of time. So the next section is facilitate the offense. For the playmakers out there, you'll find some new tools at your disposal as well. The lead to basket pass makes its return to the new gen so that it works the same way as current gen, allowing you to simply press and hold Y/triangle to get your receiver to cut to the basket and release the button to throw the pass. Another alternative is the new spot up pass mechanic. If you press and hold B/circle, the receiver you're pointing at with the left stick will perform a quick V or flare cut to get open on the perimeter. It's a very useful, quick hitting play to get an open look when you don't have time to run a full blown play for your teammate. My players can also equip a signature passing style to mimic some of the best floor generals of all time, including Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Jason Williams, LeBron James, and more. Whether you prefer to drive the lane, back defenders down in the post, or spot up from behind the arc, NBA 2K23 offers a wide variety of tools that cater to your offensive game plan. Now to talk defense. Defensive game plan. As always, defense remains a huge priority for the gameplay team. We know all the offensive upgrades in the world don't make for a fun game if there are no counters to stop them. So let's talk about some of the great enhancements on the other end of the floor. Shot defense received a nice overhaul for NBA 2K23. Up until last year, we used a simple shot defense calculation that looked at two specific points: the location of the defender when the shot started at the proximity to the ball at release. It worked well. Oh, wait, whoa. Back that up real quick. Up until last year, we used a simple shot defense calculation that looked at two specific points: the location of the defender when the shot started and the proximity to the ball at release. It worked well, but also had its shortcomings. If the defender's hand or arm moved slightly into a bad position, right at the point of our shot release calculation, you could get a bad coverage score even though it looked like a very good contest. This year, we've created a system that evaluates the defensive player's contesting hand throughout a window of the shooting motion. This larger sample set provides way more accurate results and helps line up the coverage numbers to what players expect based on what they see happening on screen. On ball defense. For the floor game, on ball defensive movement and body ups received a major refresh with new content that more accurately depicts today's one-on-one player interactions. You'll also notice a new indicator on the ball handler when in guarding position. This is the new defensive shading mechanic. The three bars on the indicator represent three zones: straight up, shade left, and shade right. The zone the defenders in is shown in red. If the ball handler attempts to attack a red line, they'll get cut off, lose their dribble, or fumble the ball. Great defenders can anticipate where the ball handler is attacking and will now be more clearly rewarded for it. The shading system works for both on-ball defenders guarding the perimeter as well as the post, and does a good job communicating to both the offense and defense why collisions resolve the way they do. Shot blocking. Shot blocking has been refined quite a bit this year as well. With NBA 2K22, we made a huge effort to improve block targeting and give players the ability to deter any shot that comes into the paint. For NBA 2K23, blocks have been tuned to a more realistic level, leading to much more predictable outcomes. With the right players making appropriate stops when timing their block attempts well. No more small guards pulling off LeBron James level chase down blocks like last year. You'll also notice a distinct improvement in ball security for good dunkers. In the past, it was always risky trying to pull off tomahawks and back scratchers with defenders even remotely nearby. We've made some changes to encourage good dunkers to use a greater repertoire of dunk packages. Feel the reward of highlight reel dunks with significant takeover boost in the right situations without fear of always getting the ball knocked out on the way up. The shot blocking system also now contains flyby blocks. When closing out late on perimeter shooters, the flybys will do a better job trying to get a hand up while preventing defenders from slamming into the shooter and sending them to the to the line. Whew. Ain't did this much reading in a while, man. Especially not out loud. Steals and ball strips. Ball strips are new and improved this year with tons of new content and better coverage. So if you're a smaller defender, quick hands can be just as effective in slowing down slashers and bigs in the paint as a good shot blocker. We've also added failed strip contact layups to make sure defenders' steal inputs are respected instead of getting ignored. When the ball does get knocked loose by a block or steal, you'll see greatly improved sideline awareness during scramble plays. Pickups near the out of bounds lines are much more reliable, as are diving ball saves that throw the ball back in play. I've seen some amazing 50-50 ball saves that will make Dennis Rodman and Alex Caruso proud. Finally, we get into the good stuff for real. Badges, builds, and takeovers. One of the first things everyone does when they pick up a new version of 2K is experiment with building a new My Player. This year, the major goals for the player builder were refinement, polish, and balance. You still have complete control to build any type of player you want, but the new builder ensures that all builds, regardless of size or specialty, are fun and balanced. The 5v5 environment used last year to test work in progress player builds is also now accompanied by a 3v3 environment for new gen players. This is especially useful if you love to hoop on the city courts and want to make sure your player can hang in the streets. Another huge addition to the build system is that animation purchases will now be account bound rather than specific to one save file. In other words, if you purchase the animation for your play shot build, it will then be available to equip on your slasher build, assuming your player meets all the animation requirements. For current gen users, you're no longer limited by the pie chart build system from the last couple years, as it's been replaced with the more robust player builder that new gen uses. New gen badge system. The most impactful change when it comes to building players is in the form of a new badge system for new gen. When looking at telemetry from previous years, we noticed that players often gravitated towards the same badges and, as a result, became a little overpowered by stacking certain badges together. This year, we're moving to a tiered badge system. There are 16 badges per attribute category, 8 in Tier 1, 4 in Tier 2, and 4 in Tier 3. Tier 1 badges are the least powerful for your player, but also cost the least amount of badge points. Costs go up as you climb the tiers and acquire the more impactful badges. The basic idea is that you'll need to equip a certain number of badges in the lower tiers before you can equip badges in the highest. The motive behind this change was to encourage players to make some tough choices when creating their badge recipes, make loadouts more valuable as a feature, and bring a better overall balance to the badge game in general. Along with tiers, we're also introducing core badges, which are 4 unique badge slots, one in each attribute category, that can be filled with badges that don't count towards your badge points. Each badge will have a challenge requirement that, once met, will allow the badge to be placed into a core badge slot. We also made several changes to the badges themselves, which are highlighted below. So, for finishing, we have Slithery, makes it easier to gather through traffic, avoiding collisions and strips. Masher increases ability to finish inside layups over defenders. Aerial Wizard, ability to successfully complete alley-oops and putbacks. Bully, like Giannis and LeBron, able to finish strong by bulldozing through traffic. Removed badge, Hook Specialist. So Hook Specialist is gone. Actually, guys, I'm gonna finish reading this badge list and the takeover in the next video. So yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all tune into the next video. It's gonna be called badge updates or badge upgrades, whatever. And then yeah, that's when I'm gonna get into all the badges, cause I need a break on reading. I need to hit this blunt. You heard me? But until next time, man, I holla at y'all.